So what does the new Frankenstein movie, Lumeria Outside the Ice Wall, and the movie Megamind all have in common? Well, if you don't know, I'm here to connect the dots for you guys. Okay, so if you guys don't know, a few videos back, I have been doing research about how Black people in America are the ancient Black Celts of Ireland. And I shared with you guys how in this new Netflix movie called Frankenstein, how they shared a few gems letting us know the truth about ancient history. Now, I have been doing a really huge deep dive, and it may offend some people, but it's my theory, something that I came up with, and I want to share it with you guys. So, I want to start with how many of you guys know exactly who this person is? If you do, put it in the comment section. So, if you don't know, this person is Yaqub, aka Jacob. According to the Nation of Islam, Yaqub was the scientist that created the white race. According to the Nation of Islam, at the age of 6, Yaqub was extremely smart. Just how I mentioned in my last video, how the ancient Celtic people were extremely smart. They had a high level of intelligence that most people now have no idea. It even says by the age of 6 how he discovered the laws of attraction and magnetic repulsion. At the age of 6. Anyways, I went on to figure out if Yaqub and the story of Jacob and Esau, were they the same person? Because I have never heard of this information. And the answer was yes, they are similar people. According to the Quran and according to the Bible, it mentions how Yaqub, aka Jacob, his parents were Isaac and Rebekah. Okay, so if you don't know the story, Abraham is Isaac's father and Rebekah was Isaac's wife. So the story is Rebekah was pregnant with twins, and she had a very bad pregnancy. Like, it was hard for her. She was barren for about 20 years or so, and then she finally gave birth to Jacob and Esau. Esau, I believe, was born first, but Jacob was born clenching the heel of Esau. Now, hold that thought. So me being me, I'm thinking, okay, let me figure out who Rebecca is because I want to know some history about her. And you guys, I couldn't find no information on Rebecca, which I found to be kind of odd. Now hold that thought because I'm going to bring all this full circle. Just bear with me. Now in the story, it says that Isaac, who is Jacob, aka Yaqub's father, Isaac favored Esau more. Rebecca favored Jacob more. Now, I would hope that one would ask themselves, why is that? Now, here's my theory. Here's where it's going to get a little... My theory is because Isaac and Rebecca were cousins, that is probably why she couldn't have kids in the beginning. And then when she finally did have kids, I think Jacob came out a little deformed. Okay, hear me out, you guys. Hear me out. In the Nation of Islam, it speaks about Yaqub having a strange, large, giant head. Okay? And how Rebecca favored Jacob and Isaac favored Esau. Like, and putting those two things together, one would assume because a mother is more nurturing to a child that have birth defects, and I would have to assume Isaac did not really care about Jacob like that because he was deformed looking. He cared more about Esau because he was a hunter. He was good looking. He was light skinned because they described exactly what Esau looked like. He was a red bone. Now, hear me out, you guys. I know that's crazy, but hear me out. In the Nation of Islam, according to them, they say that Jacob was born with an extremely large head and how he was bullied a lot because of this. Now, I want you guys to be black and know how black people get down. Y'all know damn well y'all was teasing Jacob because his head was big as hell. Come on now, y'all Joan, we Joan. So wouldn't it make more sense that Rebecca was more nurturing, I guess, to Jacob more than Esau? Because Esau really didn't need it. He was regular. He was normal. And then to me, that would explain why Isaac favored Esau because he wasn't deformed. Now, how does that particular scenario depict itself in the new Frankenstein movie? Because if you watch the movie, Victor, who was the scientist, in my opinion, aka Jacob, he was always fiending and crying for his father's love. His father never really loved him like that. He loved his true son that was born later. He doted on him more. And it made Victor always chase after his father's love. Now, to me, I can also put that together as why a mother would want to help Jacob take the blessing from Isaac, because I feel like she felt like, he needed it. And he would need a lot more love and help than Esau did, because Esau was already good. Jacob was the deformed child who looked crazy. Everyone bullied him. Y'all know we was bullying him. So anyway, after Jacob managed to steal the blessing from his brother Esau that Isaac bestowed upon him, that is when Rebekah, his mother, helped him escape to a city in Mesopotamia called Haran. Now, in the movie Frankenstein, Victor had a benefactor that basically funded all of his scientific creations and found his laboratory that was far, far away from everybody so he could perform all of these experiments to his will, to his pleasure. Now, I'm going to tie in Greater Lemuria and a place called Patmos. Now, according to the Nation of Islam, Yaqub became so filled with hatred that he was banished and exiled to a remote island that is beyond the ice wall now called Patmos. It is a subsidiary of another landmass called Greater Lemuria. It mentions how Yaqub gained followers because he was really smart. Like he was so smart to the point where he questioned God and he didn't believe. And I believe that he gained these followers in Mesopotamia where he lived, and he worked for his uncle Laban, who he later ended up marrying Rachel and Leah. Hatred grew in Jacob's heart because remember, he had to work for his uncle for about 14 years after he got tricked out of the real woman that he wanted. He wanted Rachel because she was very beautiful, but I believe he was tricked into marrying Leah because she was of the heart. She was of the heart. And that's something that Jacob didn't really understand because remember, his childhood was very tumultuous. He probably envied Esau because he was good looking and he had all the girls, he had all the friends, because it speaks about from the Nation of Islam how Jacob was teased tremendously for this deformity that he had. And you guys know black people, they probably teased the hell out of him to where the bitterness grew in him. And so therefore he took that with him. So which is why he stole the blessing, ran to Mesopotamia. While there, the hatred grew. And while he was working with these people, that's how he was able to gain followers, the people that he worked with. Pretty soon, Jacob's rhetoric got so bad that they were just like, nigga, get the hell out of here. We tired of you. You need to go. In fact, we know of an island that broke off a few months ago. It's called Patmos. We're going to send your ass over there. That way you could do all your damn experiments and, leave it be. Now, here were some of the laboratories that Yaqub set up all around the Mesopotamia. And as you could look really close to the far right, you'll see the island of Patmos Island. And I just showed you a picture before of the outer ice wall, which is around the third ring. So I believe that this island broke off and somehow traveled all the way beyond the ice wall because there are certain gates that you can go through. And I believe it went under there and floated out. Now, if you watch the movie Frankenstein, you'll see that Victor had his own laboratory that was secluded away from everybody, okay? And he had a benefactor. Now, I'm thinking it's the Uncle Laban because Laban had economical reasons to trick Yaqub into marrying his two daughters and working for 14 years. I believe he was getting money, just like the movie Frankenstein. His partner, although you know how movies are, they put little stuff in there, but he was the benefactor in the movie. Now, what's cool about this story is I was able to get it confirmed by the University of Copenhagen. They actually did a study about Yaqub to see if the Nation of Islam story was correct. And they actually found that Elijah Muhammad was spot on. If you guys want me to do a part 2, put it in the comment section.